should tell you about what I did on Monday.
Oh my God, Maria, what did you do on Monday?
You're so stupid. You don't.
Oh my God, I'm like so stupid.
No, so
what did you do on Monday?
Well, I had a rough week last week, and so my roommate was going. Not my roommate, my ex-roommate. We're on good terms. Like, it's not ex in a bad way.
Okay.
But we.
But this isn't your new. Your ex-roommate, not your new roommate.
Not my new roommate.
I know you have
my
a rough
ex-roommate.
Roommate. Yeah, but your ex. Continue.
Yeah, my ex. I went to Vegas with my ex. No, so she was
That's
going.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah. This is actually the best idea I think I've ever had. She was going to a conference called Shop Talk for her job, which is like a lot of e-commerce employees at brands will go there, or like people who want to sell stuff.
It's a lot of dorks.
Yeah, like people who want to sell like their like platform to a brand to optimize something or whatever.
Yeah,
my brain's not firing off. So we went, and she was like, just come, you can come to like the events with me at night. So I went on Monday, and we went to this party at the Park MGM at On the Record, which is like kind of a cool club.
Okay.
And the thing that was funny, and then we went to a sweet party at the Delano.
Ooh.
But the thing that was funny about it was I crashed the whole thing. So every time somebody would introduce themselves to me, they'd be like, so what are you selling, basically? Because the whole thing's a sales pitch.
It's a whole sales pitch, yeah.
And I haven't been to a lot of conferences, so I don't know how they work.
Did you like make up a backstory? Did you lie? Did you say like...
No.
What? Why wouldn't you? That sounds like so much more fun. You could create a character.
No, I literally, this is what I said. They're like, so what are you selling? And I was like, oh, no, I'm just here. And I'm a comedian. And they were like, you're a comedian? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, I need to laugh. Where do you see? I was making fans.
That's the worst, dude. I know, but then it's like, did you not get any tell me a jokes?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe that's
I didn't because literally every single, especially the men, it was mostly men because it's tech.
Yeah.
But every single person I talked to, they were like, "Oh my God, where do you do comedy? Like, I really need to laugh." And I was like, "These people are all borderline suicidal."
Well, yeah, because they're all starved for comedy. They work in tech, which is like the most unfunny industry ever. It's the most restrictive. Fucking Orwellian, like, watch what you say because, the metaverse censors are going to come to you kind of energy.
It was crazy. Well, and then we met this one guy who, like, he was from the Pacific Northwest, and he had, like, some NFT company. And I was like, dude, NFTs are not cool anymore.
Well, I don't know. What kind of platform was he on? Was he an AVAX man? Was he Arbitrum? Was he Solana? Like, what was he rocking?
I didn't even get that far, but he had on a custom sweatshirt that said...
Oh, geez, custom sweatshirt.
What is it? What's that Kanye lyric?
I get no bitches?
No, it's like something mixed with Steve Austin. What's that? What's that? Steve Jobs mixed with Steve Austin.
Bro.
That was what was on his sweater.
I mean, he better have been Jewish.
I don't think so. That's that's what I was like. Oh, I guess it's cool for you to wear that again because now he's not anti-Semitic.
Look, Kanye's made peace with the Jews. I guess somehow Jonah Hill was the answer. I don't know why.
We can't even go down that road.
Whatever.
Kanye has so little to do with roommates.
Yeah.
So we talked to him, and he was like kind of cool in the beginning. We were like all talking about stuff, and I was just making jokes and doing whatever. And then at the end of the night, once we were all at the sweet party, literally I was surrounded by a group of like very successful women that all just wanted to hear about my comedy and my podcast, which I hope they're listening because that'd be amazing. But
I know women could be successful.
He came over to me. Oh, you're such an asshole. You're such an asshole. He comes over to me and he like taps me on the shoulder and he was like, I'm kind of jealous that you're like talking to all these people. And I was like, what? He's like, I'm a little jealous. And then I literally...
because you are the hot girl. You were the one person who didn't need anything from that.
Right. There was nothing for me to gain or lose or anything.
You had nothing. They wanted you because like you couldn't use anything from them.
Yeah. So
that's a good feeling. I would love to have that feeling.
That's what I'm saying. You were like, all comedians should go and crash conferences and just be like, I'm the talent. And then everybody will need it.
Well, yeah. It's like, I just do comedy.
But what I found out later in the night...
You don't mean my sales as a service 4-point, thing where I integrate the web with your own personal brand store.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what I found out though later in the night, because my roommate, he was talking to my ex-roommate more than he was talking to me because I wasn't, I guess, giving him the time of day, and he thought he had a chance with me. And I had literally told him like, dude, I'm not single.
Is this Kanye shirt guy?
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
And he was like, separated. He wasn't fully divorced and 40 years old or whatever. But
I mean,
he said that, and then I guess I had rejected him in that moment because I just turned around and continued my conversation that he had interrupted. And then
did I not say that sign on your shirt says I get zero bitches? Because that's just
zero.
The dude has I get zero bitches energy.
Zero.
Granted, he works in tech sales. You know, that's not a very it's all dudes. It was just
awful.
You might have been just like the one. How many? What was the ratio?
Oh my God, at the suite party we went to, it was literally, I think there were less than 20 women there and the rest was all dudes.
Dude.
And there was probably over 100 people there.
Fuck, we need to get more women in tech just so these guys don't fucking create viruses to crash the internet.
Yeah.
We just need to get tech dudes laid so they don't ruin the world.
They don't know how to talk. Like all the women were talking to each other because they couldn't hold a conversation. The men couldn't hold a conversation.
And as a man who's not good at holding conversation with women, I see tech guys and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not so
But
hopeless.
at least you talk. They don't.
Yeah, that's
They don't
true.
talk. So anyways, after I had said, I turned around and continue my conversation. He says to my ex-roommate, "We're going to leave." And I was like, okay, see ya. And then we ended up leaving before them. And then they came out with us and came down the elevator with us. And then my ex-roommate ran into the bathroom and was like, "See you later." And I was like, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I can't deal with them anymore." And I was like, "Why?" Because I was not thinking, I was not on the same plane that they were
well, you don't understand all the fucking like
more drunk.
cat rock, like you don't understand like the you don't understand the cotillion-esque, positioning of, you understand it of the Hollywood world, but you don't understand it of the tech sales world. Because that's the thing, like, we think comedy has so much drama and the comedian world has so much drama, but I'm sure in their little tech sales, whatever the fuck, who gives a shit what they do, they have all the same kind of positioning and like, oh, he looked at me that way because that means that he doesn't represent or respect my, you know what I mean?
And I think because I had been like just cracking jokes all night and like talking about whatever, like we all were talking about like relationship stuff and like just like real shit. Like this woman came up to me and told me all about her divorce at one point in the night. Like people were saying crazy things. So I think by then he thought he was going to like score, but I never gave off any of those vibes. And then at the end, Ellie was like, he was trying to like score. Like he was trying to like set up the rest of his evening with you. And I was like,
that's so cute.
That's weird. He had like I was so not paying attention to that.
Yeah.
And he was so butthurt. And this is not to say that I'm any kind of
But
gem,
no, he wanted what he couldn't. He thought he was hot shit and you were outside of his... You were outside, like kind of what I was saying about like the whole like cotillion kind of fucking positioning structure. That was their hierarchy and you were outside their hierarchy. So you were a thing. You were the shiny rock outside of their stone fucking money world.
It was so crazy.
That's a good feeling.
You need I need you to go crash like a conference in Vegas. Like next time you go to Vegas.
What of tech dudes?
Conference.
Yeah, that's not gonna work the same for me.
No, not tech dudes, but like something
maybe
else.
Maybe the AVN.
I was gonna say AVN, maybe the NRA convention. Just like go down
because there's so many chicks at the NRA. Actually, I love guns, so like.
Oh wow, that took a turn.
Yeah, what guns are? Have you ever shot a gun before? You're from the Pacific Northwest.
I've shot a BB gun and a paintball gun.
Oh, you fucking dork! Those aren't real guns. You've never felt the power of your hands when you're like, feels great.
This is coming on the heels of a school shooting.
Yeah, I know, obviously. But what don't you want? Why are you dating your own podcast? Obviously that. But have you ever been to like a firing range?
Because there will be another school shooting next week.
I know. And look, I'm not a big like everybody should have access to guns. Let's not get into this conversation. I think it should be as hard to get a gun as it should be to get a driver's license.
We haven't even introduced you on the pod yet.
What's up?
He's like, let's just start talking to be really natural. And I was like, we should probably tell people your name. This is Max Halpert, everybody. Max is an LA comedian / was once upon a time a New York comedian.
It was.
And you do other things too, but they're not as exciting. What do you do? Anything interesting?
Yeah, no. I don't know. I fucking sell mortgages like the Jew-faced Jew that I am.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's fine.
How's that going? How is the mortgage business?
You know, it's
in Los Angeles.
I mean, I've only been in it for like a year, so I really couldn't tell you. I mean, it was like I started and it was like 2%, and now it's like 6%. But like my company is doing very well. It's a very small company, so it's like kind of a startup of it's not like a big corporate entity.
I knew somebody that sold mortgages that I didn't like in my hometown, and they drove a Kia town car that had vanity plates.
Ooh,
and
vanity
after
plates
that,
are just so
I was
tacky.
like, Yeah, but on a Kia town car?
Yeah,
like,
no. On
Kias are a little bit cooler now than they used to be, but back then...
Oh, dude, no. Kia, I mean, one of my best friends,
spending
Ryan.
the extra money on a vanity plate when you have a Kia?
One of my best friends, Ryan, like always has a story of when he was in high school, and he was like a queen bee bitch of his like high school, and he, this girl came in with her new car, and she's like, oh my God, I have this new car, and Ryan goes, yeah, but it's a Kia. And like deflated her, which I always respected because I didn't know him in high school. We became friends in high school. Like if we were, I love him because if I knew him during high school, I would have hated him. But in college, we of course became best friends. But just like, Kias are a lot better. But no, Kias used to have that sting on them. They got that 3-letter Kia.
Well, they did, and then that hamster commercial came out, and that was pretty awkward. And then I had to. This makes me sound like an asshole. Which
be an
asshole. What? Here we are. I had to drive like a Kia rental car once when my car was in the shop, and I've always had like decent cars, but at the time I think I had a Ford or something. But it's a good car. Like when you turn a corner, you don't feel like you're gonna flip the whole thing. And I remember having this Kia, and I had to like slam on my brakes at one point, and it was so dodgy, like whether or not I was gonna escape this thing. I know. I corrected myself.
We got there.
Yeah,
we're proud of you.
I'm smart.
Do you need a thesaurus or something? A dictionary?
The way you said that? Do you need a thesaurus?
Thesaurus.
I give you a synonym.
A synonym? A synonym?
No, but I was so scared. And I was like, how do people drive these cars? And then when you see people driving slow on the freeway, you're like, oh, that's because you can't trust your own vehicle.
Yeah, well, you can't trust yourself. I mean, I drive a fucking beat up ass Nissan Versa, and I'm fucking. Dude, I'm on
Nissan's okay, though.
They're not bad, but I fucking just like, I see motherfuckers in goddamn Mercedes and Jaguars.
The amount of swear words you just fired off.
Can we not? Are we not adults?
When I see motherfuckers in these goddamn roads, like
yeah, exactly, dude. Don't even get me started. These motherfuckers.
Like that.
You've never heard me swear before? I swear.
Not like 6 swear words in a row.
I could do more. I swear to motherfucking God, shitballs, and Christ, motherfucker.
You do get deprioritized on the YouTubes.
Oh, sorry. But we've been talking for longer than 5 minutes. Isn't it 5 minutes? Yeah, definitely.
You talk so fast that like time sort of stops.
I took all the time to listen to your whole I was the coolest bitch at the lame Vegas party, okay?
It's kind of funny, though.
It was kind of funny, but that was definitely more than 5 minutes.
And now you get an inside look into my life.
Yes.
Yes,
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Your Nissan.
I was saying I swerve around people in their, $100,000 cars like it's nothing because nobody knows how to drive in the city because everybody's a goddamn transplant.
People know how to drive.
Nobody knows how to drive.
I was literally on my way here thinking, I was on the freeway and I was like, you know what? People think LA is a scary place to drive, but it's actually so chill because people know where they're going. They want to get there. They don't want to go slowly. Okay. But like at the same time, everybody's stoned out of their minds. And so everything's like pretty chill, but people know how to merge.
But that's my thing is, I mean, like, because I drive like a crazy person and I respect a crazy driver.
I have a feeling you do everything like a crazy person.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Am I wrong?
But no, but that's the thing is I'm a crazy person, but when the world is crazy, I like to think I'm the crazy. When the world is crazy, the sane person seems crazy. Let's put it that way.
How long did it take you to think of that? Like, do you lay awake at night trying to think of a tagline for yourself to like sum up your crazy?
I get to bed around like 5 a.m. when the light comes up, and I'm just going to go with the half-ass. No, actually, I've been sleeping very well. It's because I'm just so tired
Good, because that's what this podcast is about.
What, sleeping? The audience sleeping?
Well, that's good. I mean, and do you want to say what your living situation is right now? Or do you want to talk about past roommates?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about rooms for rent. I mean, I guess, I could talk about that.
I mean, you can talk about whatever. We should get into it.
I would love to. I mean, let's go back to college. Let's go back, because I know you'll appreciate this one. I want to tell the story about Luke Dean Neferatos. And I will.
You want to say his full name?
Yes, I will say his full name.
Okay, because sometimes people do this, and then afterwards they're like, "Hey, can you?" You know why you won't
mind? Let me do a Tarantino and start at the end of where he is now, and I'll get back to how I know him.
Okay.
Currently, he is a person who works for SAM, which I think was originally called SAD, which is very ironic, which is Smart Approaches to Marijuana. in Smart Approaches to Marijuana. By the way, I went to school in Colorado.
Okay.
Basically, it's an anti-weed lobbying group that goes to states in Smart Approaches to Marijuana, who, by the way, currently appears on Laura Ingraham.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I had a roommate that worked for Laura Ingraham.
Yeah, he appears as, and he's a good-looking dude. Don't get me wrong.
Does he go on TV?
Yeah, he goes on TV.
Does that just grind your gears, though?
No, it's not that he grinds. Honestly, it's not that it grinds my gears that he goes on TV. It's when I've seen him, he like went on Laura Ingraham, and it's it's not the good one. It's Laura Ingraham is the ugliest of the Fox News blondes. She's not fuckable like Megyn Kelly was. Yeah. I don't like want to hate masturbate.
Just
to
get
her.
a little misogyny in there for us.
I mean, it's playful misogyny. What you don't you want to hate? I don't know what the male version of Megyn Kelly is to your liberal sensibilities.
Well, once upon a time it was Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, exactly. Don't you want to? You're just like, yeah. Megyn Kelly, like.
I know she was hot, but you don't have to jerk off on my podcast to her.
I don't know. Every man here secretly wants Megyn Kelly to step on their balls. All right, I don't think that's incorrect.
His kink is interesting. I mean,
I don't know if it's that
balls,
interesting.
We could do an ad right now. Should we do an ad and then we'll get?
Oh, do I have to do ads? No. You don't just splice them in. I gotta read. Sponsored by Squarespace. Do you want an internet do you want a fucking website for your fucking shit product?
No, we're not sponsored by Squarespace. Don't say that.
I don't know what you're sponsored by.
So he worked for Smart Approaches to.
Anyways, he's a very. So basically, I'm a young LA Jew, smoked my fair share of ganja, excited to go to college in Denver, Colorado.
Sure.
Fucking awesome. So stoked. Excited to meet my new roommate, live my life, fucking party, get out of my shell, meet some pretty girls, do my college thing. And I get my roommate assignment. I'm at home with my family. I'm on my computer, and I'm looking it up, and I find him on Facebook, and I just shout out from my room. I go, Mom, I think my roommate's really Christian.
And you're Jewish, in case.
Yeah, but I'm not I'm in LA, whatever. But even still,
What made you think that?
The God in his fucking posts and his, and this was Facebook era. This was before, but it was all.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay, I'm 34.
Yeah, no, it was all Jeebus. And we meet, and so basically, this is what you need to know about him: is he is, the Flanders from The Simpsons.
Yes.
His dad is Ned Flanders. His mom was Maude Flanders. Him and his brother are Rod and Todd Flanders. They're exactly the same, but kind of different. Let me put it this way: Luke was the kind of kid to buy the clean versions of rap songs.
Oh.
On iTunes.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Do you understand this kind of person?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he was a narc. He was just a narc.
He was a narc, and I was a young stoner.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
it's funny though, because people would think you were a narc because you're so chatty. They think you just say things, but you're actually a cool guy.
I am a cool guy. Yeah. I just don't have resting cool face. Or voice, or personality.
You have resting neurotic face.
Yeah, I know. But it was, honestly, I have a theory that the reason why he is an anti-weed lobbyist now is because of me. It's kind of my fault because I remember when we first met, we were talking and I was like, oh, don't try and convert me. And he's like, well, if you have, he said, just so you know, if I find weed or alcohol in this room, I will tell the RA. And I'm like, all right, well, as long as you don't try and convert me. Oh. Yeah, that was the energy. But the thing is, I almost got caught because I once, it was freshman year, and I had bought a fair amount of.
And this is when weed wasn't legal in Colorado yet.
Yeah, but weed's all. Yeah, I mean, it was medically legal.
No, I know, but you had to get it from a dealer. Did you get it from a dealer?
Yeah, I don't know. I just got it from somebody in college. Yeah.
People in my college, they got it from some deal. It was.
Always, it was probably.
There was always one person.
Yeah, there was always one guy. You would get it from a guy, but it wasn't back in high school when you'd get it from a kid and he'd be like, "Oh, Mom, I'm going out to give." A video game to a friend, and by video game he meant weed. but I came in and I had to like leave or something, and I didn't get time to put it in my like vacuum sealed containers, my smell proof. So I had to like leave it in there. And I get back and I finally get to do it. And then like the next day, and shout out to Jack, one of my hallmates, the absolute goat, goes, yo man, like I gotta tell you, Luke grabbed me and he's like, hey, come in here. And he's like, Luke was like, does it smell like weed in here? And Jack, God bless you, Jack. I don't know where you are or what happened to your life, but he was like, no, it does smell funky. I don't know if it's like a mold or something, but it doesn't smell like weed. But Luke didn't know really what weed smelled like because he never experienced it.
Right.
And he believed him. And that saved my life. Not my life.
I mean, not your life.
But my college
But did you
experience.
ever like try to peer pressure him into doing it? Were you like, come on, man, just have a little bit.
No.
Just have a little bit.
No. I didn't care enough. I had friends in a life. I wasn't going to waste my time on a lost cause.
I know, but there was never a time where like you guys were all hanging out together and they're like, come on, man, don't you like
No, we weren't hanging out.
Before I had ever smoked weed, people would do that to me. But I wasn't a narc. I was just like not interested in doing it.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Luke was a narc.
Yeah. That's crazy. So, wait, so he never caught you.
I mean, probably did.
Have you ever gotten in trouble for weed?
Oh my God! Oh yeah. Yes, specifically
in college,
specifically legally, and in college. Yeah, we'll get into it. I don't care. No, because I used to drive from LA to Denver, over the summer and whatnot. And the summer after my freshman year, I was driving back home, and I don't know if you've ever driven from Denver to LA before, but
No.
there's a stretch of the road where basically it says no services for 130 miles. And like I'm a youth in my car,
not paying attention.
not even not paying attention. I just on the open road in the middle of the desert.
Men.
Men. Being a man.
They're like,
enjoying life, not worrying or complaining about random shit that's unnecessary. Being happy. And so I'm speeding. There's nobody around. It's straight lines. And I'm just trying to see how fast my car can go. And I was doing this for a while.
Oh my God. How fast did you go?
I don't know, probably like 119 or something.
Okay, that's fast.
Like 120. Yeah.
In a Nissan?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, not. That's the car I have now. But yeah. But basically, it doesn't matter because like I was doing that for a while, and I kind of stopped doing it. But when you're going so fast, you don't realize still how fast you're going, even if you've gone less fast, because and also when you're on the open road and it's straight away, you don't really fathom. I didn't realize I had exited that 130. And of course, there's a bridge to a town, and under that bridge, there was a cop.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't in Colorado. I wasn't in California. I was in Salina County, Utah.
I was going to say you were in Utah.
I was in Utah.
And you were stoned out of your mind.
That's the thing. That's what actually saved my ass is I wasn't high. I just had weed in my car.
Damn.
Yeah. So I get pulled over by this cop. And of course, he's like, oh, and of course.
How fast were you going when he pulled you over?
I think I was probably going like.
Over 100.
I was probably going like 110 or something. Damn. Yeah.
Because you can go to jail. If you're going too far over the speed limit,
well,
you
I
go
did.
right to
I
jail.
did. I didn't go to like jail. I mean, it was a holding cell. It wasn't jail, but it was.
Damn.
I done time. I did a whole half.
You would be proud of saying
I did time. I did a whole half day in a holding cell where I got to watch a movie until my mom paid for my bail. I think it was like Austin Powers was on the TV or something.
God.
Some corny ass
movie that would be canceled today.
Yeah. Hey, that's
I love
Mike
Austin
Myers'
Powers,
best. But yeah, no.
There's no way. So how much was your bail?
I don't know, probably like $700 or something like that.
And then did you have a ticket on top of that?
Yeah. Well, here's what saved me. Dude, this is such
Jesus?
white.
Was it Jesus?
It was Jesus. It was Jesus. No, and Jesus is white privilege. I'll tell you what. Basically, I was like, because I wasn't high, but he wanted to like prove that I wasn't high.
Did they search your car after they arrested
Well, no,
you?
that's the thing is when he came over, he opened the car. Obviously, my car smelled of weed. So that's why he was like, and I was like, what? You can't search my car? And he's like, I smell weed. Like, I can't. Fine, I'll wait for the dog. So I had to wait there for a dog to come because the dog was able to.
You're so stubborn.
Yeah,
You're
well,
like,
no. I was like, you can't. Yeah, well, no. I was like, oh, shit, I'm fucked. He's going to call the dogs. Because, no, I was freaking the fuck out. But at first I was stubborn. And then when he called the dogs, I was like, fuck, I can't take this back. But also it doesn't matter because, and he found the weed. But I was like, yes, I have it, but I'm not high. Because I wasn't. And so he's like,
you're like, officer, it's just possession. It's not.
Yeah. No, but what saved me is, in legal terms, is he made me do a sobriety test. And I passed the sobriety test.
Wow.
So, and this is total white privilege, but like, he literally let me drive my car to the station because if I got in a tow, I would have had to stay there in Salina County for like 4 days because it was like a Friday or something.
The tow truck companies aren't open on the weekends?
I don't know, man. It's Salina County, Utah.
And you would have had to pay an additional like $400.
Yes, and
for
then
the tow.
So he let me drive my car behind him.
Were you like, I'm going to take off? Like, I'm just going to turn the
No. I wasn't going to fucking risk it. So I drove by him to the thing, parked my car, got booked, stayed in a holding station for a fucking thing.
Were you by yourself in the cell?
I was by myself,
You're lucky.
But I made friends with my cellie. The guy, not cellie.
Cellie?
Well, the guy next to me.
Is that what they call it?
I don't know.
You have jail slang now?
I guess so. I guess it's called cellie.
Cellie.
My cellie. My daddy. No, he was in the cell next to me. He had like, poor guy had just gotten, thrown in jail for some like bad fucking tickets because.
You didn't pay him or something?
I don't fucking know, man. And then I ended up.
So you got a ticket. Did you get a ticket for speeding and for possession? You got two?
Yes. Ooh. However, and for having weed in my system. So it was a DUI. However, I got the tickets for it. However, because I had passed the thing and they let me drive back, when I went to like lawyer up, I only had to pay the speeding ticket.
But did you have to go to court and be like, they let me drive my car? If I had a DUI, why would a cop let me drive my car?
No.
I would have loved to have made that argument.
No. I have, dude. I'm a white kid from LA. We know. I'm a Jew from LA. I know people who are lawyers.
I know, but I would have loved it if you would have had to gone and I can't. Proper grammar's not in my thing today. I would have loved it if you would have gone to court and been like.
I don't want to risk
arguing with the officer.
Of course, I would have argued, but I would have to argue. It's not like I would have argued in Los Angeles. I would have had to go all the way to Salina County, where they.
I know, but it still would have been.
Where they would have just burned me at the stake for being a Jew anyway. Like what?
It's possible.
No, but obviously, like it ended up being fine. But yes, I've done time.
So you called your mom from jail?
Yes, I called my mom from jail, who flipped the fuck out and hung up on me on first.
Was your mom like a goody two shoes, or was she just so disappointed that she reacted?
My mom's just a neurotic Jew mess.
I can't wait for her to watch this.
Oh, she's not going to watch this. I'm not going to tell her about it. I mean, she might watch it, but I wouldn't tell her about it. No, they laugh about it now, but it was, a very traumatizing experience in my young college-age life.
But you were over 18, so they couldn't punish you that much.
But it's weed. Weed is illegal.
I know, but I'm saying your parents, like, if you'd been in high school, grounded.
Well, they didn't.
Whatever.
I mean, they didn't punish me in they punished me with disappointment.
Yeah, that's what my parents did.
Yeah, which
But I never went to jail.
Yeah. I mean, it was a holding cell. It wasn't jail.
Were you living with the NARC when this happened?
I mean, it was the end of my freshman year, so technically yes. But like after my freshman year, I didn't live with him anymore.
Yeah. And can you go, not to backtrack, but the thing that he's doing, the lobbying thing?
Yeah.
What is it called?
It's called SAM. Smart Approaches to Marijuana.
And what is their
They go to places where weed is not legal and be like, dude, they post fucking articles about should we go back on weed? It's just an anti-marijuana lobbying group, and Fox News, they'll talk about, big marijuana. Like, shut the fuck up. It's just.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's a big thing now, but.
It is. And there is.
So, because it sounds like smart approaches to marijuana, it makes it sound like they're going to say, now you should smoke between the hours of like 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and don't smoke too much.
Exactly.
Just enough. Like the way the title is, that's why I was like, what is this?
But that's the thing is like, I mean, any of those like. Any fucking thing that's like families for or smart approaches to any of those like Americans for, they're never for those things. They're all for, it's honestly, I don't really know the details for it, but I wouldn't be surprised if their main donor is like Big Pharma. You know what I mean? Like it's anti-weed lobbying through some probably bigger financial arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through the guise of Christianity. It's all lobbying bullshit.
It's true. It's true. Do you think weed makes people paranoid? Like long term?
Oh, long term? No, but yeah, when I'm high, I can be very paranoid.
But do you think it if you're sober, do you think it makes you more paranoid when you're sober? Do you
know? No, because when you're not high, you're not. Do you not smoke weed?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're such a fucking dork. Aren't you from Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't like it. It makes me sad.
It makes you sad. Okay, but here's my theory, and this is somebody who also gets sad and paranoid when he's too high, is I don't think weed makes you sad or paranoid. I think weed shows you the sad and paranoid you always were.
No, I think that's possible. I think depending on the person, I don't think that's true. Weed doesn't make me sad in the moment. It makes me sad the next day. So like if you
interesting.
If you drink and you're hungover, it doesn't happen all the time, but if you're depending on like what's going on in your life in that time,
anxiety?
No, yeah, you could have anxiety or you could just be kind of depressed because alcohol's a...
No, that's what I mean, anxiety.
Yeah, like a depressant.
When you're hungover and you get super depressed.
And weed is a depressant, yeah. And so because I don't drink that much either, so I don't get hungover very often. But every time I've ever smoked weed...
Dog, do you not even party?
Bro, I have goals. Like
I have goals, and my goals are to party.
Like I drank a little in Vegas the other night, but I had like 2 drinks over the whole night. We didn't do shots or anything.
Oh, bro, you gotta do shots sometimes.
I mean, every once in a while, but I don't.
I have goals too, but my goals are also to have fun.
Yeah, I have fun. I just don't feel like I need alcohol and other stuff. No. I've never done a hard drug.
No, but you've never done a hard drug? Yeah. Maria, no wonder you're so uptight. Come on.
I'm not
Do
uptight.
some mushrooms.
You think I'm uptight?
Sometimes.
I'm not uptight. I'm very chill.
I'm not uptight. I'm very
Wait,
chill.
Don't let your microphone brush
wobble.
Up on
I know. I touched it.
You can touch it.
Touch it?
No. Don't. I mean, you can move it. You're like getting eaten by your microphone. And not everybody's watching this. Some people are listening because if it brushes against your shirt, it'll make.
But isn't that what the little spongy thing is for?
You're on one tonight.
I'm always.
You can also move it. You can like adjust it.
Oh yeah, I forget that.
Oh my god.
No.
That's why I'm like trying to tell you how you're. Okay.
No, I don't know. Drugs are a fascinating exploration of yourself in a different state.
But I think I have issues with drugs because there's no way for a person to tell if they can handle the drugs or not. So, or alcohol, anything. Like you don't know if you can handle it till you try it.
That's the point.
No, it's not the point because look at how many people are addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
And there are people who are addicted to drugs that can't admit they're addicted. There's people who are addicted that can. There's people who are addicted who can't get access to help.
But a lot of those people who are addicted to drugs, when they stop taking the drugs, they're still addicted to other stuff. Most of my friends who are sober smoke more cigarettes than you would in your entire life.
Yeah, they have the addictive part. We all have an addictive personality. Yeah. And the addictive part of their personality is more prominent. But I just... I don't.
It also depends on what drugs you're talking about. I mean, we're talking about fucking fentanyl, or are we talking about taking some shrooms? I
don't like any of it.
Well, have you ever tried it?
No, and I don't want to. I have no desire to.
Why don't you have a desire?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because I've seen I don't like the negative effects drugs have on people.
What negative effects?
Overdosing, suicide, depression, changes your personality. If you do meth, it changes the way your entire
Yeah, we're talking
looks.
about I'm not talking about meth. I'm talking about psychedelics.
Molly's really bad for you.
Oh my God, Molly is not really bad for you. Molly is amazing for you. Molly fixed my relationship with my brother. Molly they're giving to soldiers to like heal their PTSD.
Well, I had Molly ruin relationships.
Well,
people.
that's the thing. It's all about context and situation, and also getting
but
good shit.
I don't think.
I mean, I don't know what kind of hick ass Oregon Molly they were taking that was laced with meth, but
it's not. It's not Oregon. I've lived in LA for 10 years. It's not
okay.
like
I don't know what hick ass LA meth,
everything.
hick ass LA Molly that was laced with fentanyl.
I just don't. I don't know. I just don't agree with it. Like, not everybody has to do drugs to have a good time.
I have a good time all the time sober, but I also have a good time on drugs. This idea that just because you take drugs doesn't mean you can't have a good time sober is ridiculous. Of course I can have a good time sober. That's not what I'm saying, but I also have a good time.
People who do drugs think that you can't, like somebody who doesn't can't have a good time sober. So that's where you're contradicting yourself, because you're like, it doesn't mean I can't have a good time sober, but I have a great time when I'm on drugs too. I can do all of that without any of it. I don't even really. I know I'm drinking a Diet Coke right now. Shout out to Diet Coke if you want to sponsor me. I'm available.
What are you, Taylor Swift?
But I don't like. A lot of times I wake up in the morning and I have coffee for the taste. Like, I don't have it necessarily for the caffeine. Like, some days I do, but a lot of times I don't.
Are you my dad?
No, I just don't. I don't have this desire to do.
And I'm not talking about, honestly, I'm more talking about like the hallucinogenic realm, the psychedelic realm, the self. This is my issue, is I do find that people are like, it means usually they lack a part of them that wants to self-explore, that, I don't know, a weed can, but also these kinds of drugs, and obviously used in a responsible way, in an aware way, allow you to take off certain shells that you create around yourself, emotional, spiritual, otherwise, that you, because you're in that world, because you're, to kind of quote a term, a fish in water, you don't even know you're in water. And certain drugs allow you to sort of release that. And when you release that, you're allowed to realize, gives you an awareness of that. And that helps you when you come back in a way that you couldn't even fathom.
But do you realize that there are some people that do that and they chase that feeling? Like, let's assume it's a good feeling. I think what you're talking about is like, you have good feelings, like you have feelings of sort of freedom, like from within yourself.
No, not always. Sometimes it's awful. But a lot of times,
and there are people who chase that, and they chase. And so when they're not feeling well in life, sober or whatever, more or less, then they chase.
Yeah, but that's not the drugs' fault.
Down, and then they take. It is drugs' fault. That's like saying guns don't kill people.
Drugs enable that. But also, it is partially the drugs' fault. But also, like, a person in that downward spiral who's using drugs to escape, that's more of an intention thing. They're using drugs to escape, not drugs to explore. And there's a little bit of that dance, but that's also a thing you have to learn in yourself.
That's all part of an addict's personality.
But also,
I
wouldn't limit it to addicts. I do think there's also a lot of escape and explore in everything you do.
You just don't want anybody to rain on your drug parade. That's what
I don't think you are waiting on my drug parade, because it's not going to change my drug parade.
Yeah, but you don't want somebody to tell you that drugs are bad. You don't think they're bad because you don't have an issue with them. You feel like you have control where you can go.
Oh, I know. I don't. I don't think I have control. I think I've had my ups and downs with drugs, but I do think that. I
don't like that people lose their lives over drugs.
Oh, I don't like that either. I'm not saying everybody should do drugs in the sense that like you should become addicted, like go crazy, wild, but. I just think there's a certain type of personality that is avoidant of what drugs can bring you because they are, I don't know, they're scared from what they'll learn.
I'm not afraid of that.
You're not?
No. I don't want to do drugs like I don't want to go to a heavy metal concert.
Oh, see, I want to go to a heavy metal concert. I don't even like heavy metal. The idea is, I love a good hang banging.
No, I don't want. I just don't want to do it. Like, this took a very serious turn.
I don't mind a serious turn.
I know people are gonna be like, this is
whatever.
This is classified as a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
No, but I don't like guns because, and I don't think everybody needs to have guns in their home because guns have killed a lot of people. Drugs are killing a lot of people. at an exponentially high level, and we're not doing anything.
What kind of? Well,
so
yeah, but
I don't want to. This is the thing. I don't like to contribute to the problems that are in society on any level.
Even mean,
and we're not
bro?
perfect.
What are you talking about? You have an iPhone. You're doing a podcast. You're already contributing to the problems of society.
That's not true at all.
You're absolutely contributing.
No,
you're starting a podcast.
Not at all.
Oh,
how is that bad? How
because
is the
it
podcast
contributes to the millennial idea that all of our thoughts and ideas needed to be recorded and filmed and conversed
but that's
about.
not necessarily a bad thing. The
And
things
neither
that
are
you,
drugs.
yeah, but see, the things that you want to argue about or that you think are good or bad are a little askew.
Well, no, I don't. What
you think a
what do you mean by
podcast
that?
is bad? That thing.
I don't think a podcast is bad. I'm just saying
stop.
I'm on a fucking podcast.
You're arguing though right now that that's what it is. You're like, you're not contributing to like the well-being of society because you have a podcast. That was your argument just now, and then you're backtracking on it. When the thing that was interesting
What
when
I'm
I went
saying,
to no, let me finish.
Finish your
The thing
finish
that was interesting in Vegas, because I feel the same way. Before I started this podcast, I felt the same way of what you just said. Of like, not everybody needs a podcast. Everybody we know has a podcast. That whole thing. And then I go to talk to people who are so far out of my world. Okay, they're tech people, they're New Yorkers, like they're not in my region. No, here.
I'm sorry, they're tech people, they're New Yorkers. Like, what?
But they're not in my industry. They're not on my side of the country even. Like they're not in my age demographic. Like they're older, they're younger, whatever. And every single person that I talk to, and this is not me tooting my own horn, but every single person I talk to, they ask me what I do, and I tell them I do stand-up comedy and I have a podcast, which to all of us sounds insufferable. They were like, "Oh my God, that's so great! I listen to comedy podcasts." And then they all told me like their favorite female comedy podcaster, which people I had never even heard of. I know you're trying not to laugh right now, but it is something that's providing a service to people.
Of course, but so are drugs.
No, but not in a good way. Drugs are doing more harm than good.
See, that's what you're saying is...
Drugs are doing a lot more harm than good.
Also,
walk outside.
when you say drugs, like that's so vague and unspecific. What drugs are we talking about? How are we talking about them? This was kind of the point I was making initially when I flipped it to podcasts. Obviously, I don't think podcasts are bad. I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. Podcasts have brought me so much joy. The joke what I was trying to kind of say is when you're talking like vague generalities like that drugs are bad, what kind of drugs are we talking about? Like,
well,
drugs...
in the context that we've been talking about drugs the entire time, we're talking about, number one, illegal drugs.
Yeah, but who says what kind of drugs are illegal and why do they get
the law? What? Are you serious?
What are you, pro-law?
The law?
What are you, pro-law?
Yeah, I am.
You're pro. What are you, a NARC? Are you a rip-off of your... Are you Lutein Nephratos? Are you students?
No, Molly is illegal. Fentanyl is illegal.
So
heroin
weed
is illegal.
was illegal.
Weed is federally illegal.
Black people voting was illegal.
Okay, why you gotta bring black people?
I know,
into
but
this?
you're saying like the law matters in the sense that like just because it's a law, it's right.
That's not what I said. I'm telling you right now, there are illegal and illegal drugs.
Yeah, and those change all the time.
That's
weed
right or
was
wrong.
illegal.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay, well, weed was illegal. It's not
weed
anymore.
Weed is still federally illegal.
And so you think people shouldn't smoke weed?
That's not what I said.
Okay, well, then what are you saying?
What I'm saying is illegal drugs, Molly, fentanyl, heroin, acid, all these things are doing more harm in society than good.
There's
a reason. Walk outside, Max. Walk outside on the street.
Heroin,
and tell me what's going on out there.
Fentanyl
in Hollywood.
Fentanyl is not acid. You are bunching all these drugs together. Fentanyl.
Yeah, a lot of them. And I understand, I understand that when it comes to what psilocybin and mushrooms, that there's all this research about psilocybin doing good things. But it's being done in a clinical, medical capacity where things are being monitored and measured. And I think that weed and other stuff should be done that same way too, because there's a lot of people that can't regulate it. I feel the same way about alcohol. Alcohol is completely legal. And I think that alcohol should also, people should learn how to regulate it. They try to tell you, drink responsibly. There's all these campaigns and things to be done to get people to do things in moderation.
And that's important
in society.
You know what?
It is. You can't just throw that out the window.
No, I can tell you exactly why. Let me back it up with evidence. The reason that people don't drink in moderation is because the drinking age is 21. I studied abroad in Australia. You know what people didn't do nearly as much? Drink irresponsibly because they were allowed to drink at younger ages. So they learned how to drink responsibly rather than drinking like addicts. They didn't need some bullshit Bud Light commercial to be like, drink responsibly.
Okay, so do you think if an 8-year-old could do Molly, then there wouldn't be any drug addicts?
What?
That's what you're getting at.
No, there's a very big difference in an 8-year-old doing Molly than the drinking age being 18 versus 21, when that's something that 18-year-olds are going to do no matter what. 18-year-olds who can go die in wars and buy guns, but they can't buy alcohol?
So you're saying that somebody drinking at the age of 18 versus 21 keeps people from becoming alcoholics?
I'm saying that people are going to drink anyway.
Do you have the research?
I'm going to say that people are going to drink anyway. Obviously, people under 21 are going to drink. When was the first time you drank?
But what does this have to do with illegal drugs?
What I'm talking about is these restrictions not having to do anything with preventing people from actually, like, that doesn't, these laws don't have anything to do with how people interact with these drugs. If anything, these laws do more harm than good. The entire war on drugs has created the fentanyl epidemic.
Well, now you're getting into a whole nother
Well, you just got into a whole nother thing.
No.
We're getting off topic.
We are very.
I know. We've spiraled.
But
my roommate, right?
Yeah. I just think that everything is done backwards. Like, even if you look at how things like COVID were handled, a lot of things in that were done backwards for a lot of reasons. Okay, I'm just using that as an example.
I know. I don't want to bounce off into that.
But my point is, between drugs that are illegal versus education on drugs versus like things, if you want to get into what the legal drinking age is, all of these things in our society, how healthcare is handled, it's all backwards. And so until you can figure out how to do things the right way.
But you're never going to figure out how to do things the right way.
I think, okay, let's take away for a second, like all drugs that are illegal and like what fentanyl is doing and everything. And you just look at what doctors are doing with psilocybin. Okay. They found a drug. The drug is technically illegal, and they're doing research on it to try to figure out how it affects your brain. And they're doing that, and they're trying to come up with a way to do it so that people can take it without it causing a problem.
But we wouldn't have even gotten there without people like experimenting from themselves and knowing that was wrong, that people can have great experiences with
people
psilocybin.
Experimenting and then an entire society crumbling because of a drug problem is
but that drug problem is not psilocybin.
But there are things, I'm using it as an example, I'm not talking about that. There are things that can be done. It's the same with, I mean, it's a whole nother thing, but it's the same with like women's health and how like you cannot measure a woman's hormones in an accurate way to tell her what kind of birth control she should be on because there's no research supporting it. But we are giving people birth control pills and hormones and things, and we have no idea how it's going to affect their life and well-being. And like hormones fuck with your head too.
Of course.
And so there's all these things that are being done backwards. But in the meantime, there are people who are suffering from addiction and death and homelessness. And like a lot of those things are caused by drugs. So that's why I have a problem going all the way back. That's why I have a problem with drugs, because I have a problem with the system. And the system is so backwards that more people are suffering than should be. But it sounds like
you're expecting the system to fix it that was broken in the first place.
I think there have been times in American history where there have been opportunities to fix the system. Right now, all of the systems, very, very screwy. Very disappointed. Yeah. I'm very, like, I think everybody can agree. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Very disappointed in everything. But there are opportunities to fix things. This is why people want me to go into politics.
People want you to go into politics?
A lot of people want me to, yeah. People
Who wants you to go into politics, Maria? I'm curious.
A lot of people. Please comment if you think I should go into politics.
Yeah, please comment if you think Maria should go into politics.
Well, part of it's because my dad ran for office, but I was exposed to a lot of
another political nepo baby. Like, we need that.
No, he lost. It's not really a nepo baby if you lose.
Fair enough.
It's just like I care about the well-being of society as a whole.
Do you though?
Yeah, I do. I actually do.
I believe that.
You're not gonna argue with that.
I believe.
So
that. I believe you think you do.
After you had your NARC roommate. Who did you live with next? A drug dealer?
After I lived with my NARC roommate, I lived with only my best friends throughout college. So those.
Okay, so you made friends.
I made. Of course. I literally.
You made drug friends.
Literally, no, not. I'm not. Well, I mean, not that we didn't enjoy our drug times together, but I wouldn't say they were drug friends. But no, of course, like literally was never in my room, became best friends with my next door neighbors. And then that's how I met actually the guy Ryan I was telling you about, who's like my homie. He Borgore fans.
Nice.
Shout out to Borgore if you're watching.
Shout out to Borgore. I work
every
for
day is my
Borgore.
birthday because bitches love cake. Love you, Borgs. She used to work for Borgore, and
I would love it if you watched this.
oh yeah,
He's a
yeah,
great
please.
guy. Love the Borgs.
Love the Borgs.
Actually, Asaf. I love Asaf. That's his first name. Did you know that?
Yeah, I didn't
His
actually.
name is Asaf.
Asaf.
His name is Asaf Borgere without the E on the end. And then he added the E on the end, which
did
was always
not
very
know
close to my heart because my family added an E on our last name during World War II.
Borgere.
Yeah, for different reasons, like
Hey,
to
kids, it's
escape war.
Borgere.
But
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, dude. Dude, this is so my last name is Halpert. Do you know what Halpert comes from?
This is drugs
dude,
at this point. That's my only.
Dude, I wish it came from I wish it came from drugs, bro. Okay, so my family, you know, Russian, European, Jew, mutt mix, all that classic 1900s, early, you know, shtetl people escaping who knows what, come to America. My great grandfather, I think Maxwell Alpovitz.
Okay.
Alpovitz.
Okay.
Came
That's
through
very
Ellis,
Jewish.
Ellis Island. Thank God, truncated to Halpert. God bless. I looked up what Alpovitz means. So Vitz is a surname, is son of. Alpa. Take a guess what Alpa is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Nothing comes to mind.
it's money handler.
Oh my god.
Son of a money handler. Yeah, no, not stoked on that.
Do you feel like you represent that? You're wearing almost all green, so
Well,
I think it tracks.
Well, I don't know about that. I just look good in
You're
forest
wearing
green.
a green sweater, green shoes, and what could be green pants.
Well,
like
no,
it's like a shade of green.
These are not green.
Those are like a shade of.
These are.
They're like a green beige.
I wouldn't say these are green, but
Is your underwear green too? What are you, a
Actually,
leprechaun? Oh my god.
we'll see.
We don't-
We'll show it for the fans.
We're gonna censor it.
gray,
But could be green.
Bro, are you colorblind? Are you colorblind?
You're so contrary that it puts me in a contrary mood.
Oh, but I love
Do
contrary.
you argue with your parents?
I argue with everybody.
That I know. I asked specifically if your parents will put up with it.
They're-
My parents like
Who do you
to-
think? Who
to
do you think?
debate.
Who do you think instilled that in me?
Yeah, it takes one to know one.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you think I got
but when
it
they
from?
get mad at you for like being stubborn or opinionated, do you just go, it had to come from somewhere, because that's what I say to my parents.
Pretty much. Yeah. I got it from you. Yeah. Who do you think I got my critical fucking eye from?
Yeah.
No. No. That hurt me to my Semitic core. But you know, what are you gonna do about it? Maybe Kanye was right. Kanye 2024.
Did it make you like your last name less after you learned that, or were you just like, whatever?
It made me like my last name more, not my old last name. It made me appreciate Ellis Island more. That's what it made me appreciate.
So your roommate Ryan, how did you guys get into Borgore?
I don't know. We were in college and we liked dubstep and
it was big back then.
yeah, dude.
Like,
I was
that
raised on the EDM, man.
Skrillex
Fucking
days.
Skrillex.
Yeah.
Dude, I was a Skrillex bro. Dude, I was such
I
a
met him too.
I was such a fucking
What? Yeah, I met Skrillex. Yeah, Sonny. His real
really?
name's
You met
Sonny.
I did actually meet yeah, I did actually meet Skrillex on. I was flying actually to go see a festival that he's playing at. I was in LAX and he came out of this like side room, which was like the private room, into the thing, and it was obviously Skrillex. And with who's the girl who and you know the lights don't stop me. Thank you, Ellie Goulding. Shout out to the homie. Shout out to the homie.
God.
He was because they used to date, and it was them two
Yes,
and like
I
their
remember
manager. And literally, I was like, no, it can't be Skrillex. And then he like turned around, and his backpack said Sunny on it, like it was embossed. And I go, I literally was like, yo, Skrillex. And he was like, hey. I was like, I don't want a picture, nothing. I just want to shake your hand and say I'm actually about to go see you at a festival. And he was super chill about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a picture guy. I just like want to give my love.
I think I saw him I've seen him a few times. I saw him I think it was the iHeartRadio festival in San Diego at the amphitheater or something. And I worked for the music manager who represented Borgore and Crystal Method and DJ Static Revenger. I don't know if you know who he is. Older. And so he was like, if you guys, my mom was in town. He's like, if you guys want to come down to San Diego, you can come to the Skrillex set and stand backstage and like talk to him and hang out and whatever. And so my mom and I did that, and like she still talks about it to this day because it was so like it was peak Skrillex. Like you couldn't, he couldn't get any bigger than he was in that moment. And but I also like I've been backstage at Marshmello shows. My brother worked for Marshmello.
That's sick.
Yeah, I was big in the DJ world. Like when Borgore did his
peak
music video with Miley Cyrus.
With Decisions?
Yeah, I mean, that was at the Hollywood Roosevelt. We
beautiful.
shot all night.
Beautiful.
At Beecher's Madhouse.
Just a great music video too. He makes great music videos too. I was just listening to his new song. God, I can't remember the name.
No, he came out with anything.
He did. It was like, it was a new song. It was really good. It's just a really like funny, silly. I like a good EDM. I like a good anybody who doesn't take themselves too seriously, and that's why I like. That's what I loved about Borgore is because he's like great, but also like has a lightness about himself. He's not like serious DJ man. Like he's all jokes, and you're like you love to see that.
Yeah. Do you know? Okay, so you probably don't know this, but you know that video, right?
Which one?
Decisions. When Decisions was made, it was like right after Miley cut all her hair off.
Yeah.
And that wasn't planned. And like they thought they were gonna have this like hot girl with long hair in the video. And then because she did the video for free, all we had to pay for was her hair and makeup. And I don't even think we paid for her wardrobe, but her hair and makeup was $5,000.
Wow.
Per day.
Wow.
Which was crazy because at the time she had Jennifer, the guy who did Jennifer Aniston's famous hair, I think his name was Chris.
The Jennifer hair.
And so if you go to watch the video, the guy with the horse mask on in the video, do you remember that? You probably don't remember.
Yeah, maybe.
You'll have to go back and watch it now.
I have to rewatch
it. But she like makes out with him at one point or whatever, and it's Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, and because they were dating? Or they were dating?
They were dating, and she wasn't 21 yet.
Oh.
And so where everything was filmed.
And that's legal.
Yeah, there was a lot of illegal shit going on.
I mean, come on.
Liam was so messed up on whatever he was on. He was like running back and forth from the bathroom, like throwing up, and
gotta party sometimes.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, but it was this whole thing of like how he was going to be in the video, but nobody was going to know. Like people don't know. He never takes it off.
That's
or
cool. I didn't
like
know that. I didn't know that little fun fact.
Yeah, and because the whole music video was planned by men and Miley just showed up, we didn't plan for a soft to have like a change of outfits, and they did the cake part where they're like smashing cake in each other's faces. We did that very early on in the evening, and so he only had one outfit, and it was smothered in cake. So I had to go back into like the industrial kitchen and spray it down. We had no soap, we had no extra outfit.
Shit.
Like we didn't buy two of whatever he was wearing. So I had to spray it down, and then I had to find like some kind of weird like blow dryer, and I was like in a hallway in this hotel blow drying his clothes. And they're like, and then people are texting me, "Are you done yet? He needs to put him back on." I'm like, "I don't. What do you want me to do? You should have bought another like."
Also, I mean, music video production is like the most jank, ramshackled like production.
Awful.
Most. I actually, you know what? I was in a Nicky Romero music video. In a green suit.
Oh no!
It was a really I love Nicky Romero. It was.
I barely know who that is.
Yeah, he threw out some real big bangers in the time of the Skrillex Avicii era. Fantastic. Then he kind of went a little bit more into production. Excellent EDM artist, and he was doing. I was in LA and like. A friend of mine like knew the guy, and it was weird that I ended up even on there in like, it was somewhere in Hollywood in this like kind of building, and like the music video was like about some kind of production, and I'm just like, and I was just there to like hang, and they let me, and I was like, I want to be in it, and they put me in like a green screen, and it was cold as shit, and I was in a Green Man suit, so you can see me in the background in like a Green Man suit. And I was stoked on it.
Did you get paid?
No, I didn't get paid.
Oh yeah, that's
no,
the other thing.
Of course not. Of course not. Nobody gets.
Well, that's why all Miley's friends were in the video, because then they didn't have to find people you had to trust. Yeah. Like she already had people, and then you didn't have to pay them.
That's exactly the thing. That was
everybody
the point.
That's in a video is like the literal entourage.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Yeah, because it's all non-union. It's just it's very ramshackled together.
Yes.
But I don't know. I felt
that's a fun one.
It's a great song. Yeah. Like Home.
Well, we're going to do a quick ad really quick.
Let's do it.
And then...
can I chime?
And then you can. I didn't bring the stuff in tonight because...
I won't like... I'll be kosher about it.
But I'm going to read it, and then, we'll have a little banter.
What's it for?
You'll see.
Oh.
All right. So support for Room for Rent is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the ultimate hygiene bundle for the man in your life, the Performance Package. Help him join over 7 million men worldwide, which is 14 million balls, that's a lot of balls, who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code ROOMFORRENT at manscaped.com. So you can put in promo code Room for Rent. You will get 20% off. You will also get free shipping. It's great. I had they sent me some stuff. I've tried it. I've actually used the clippers on my dog. He doesn't have balls, but I do a little manscaping on him. It's nice. It doesn't bother him. So if it doesn't bother him, it's not going to bother your balls.
It won't
comes
bother
with
my
a little
balls.
light on it.
That's good.
There's also a nice nose hair trimmer. Do you use a nose hair trimmer?
Not yet, fortunately.
Okay.
In the sense that
you don't
I'm
have
not,
any in there.
I mean,
you don't trim.
Not yet. I know. I got a big old nose, so they're coming.
But you also have good hair. You have a full beard.
But I do, which means eventually I'm going to have fatty nose hairs. They're not. I'm not at the age where I need to yet, but I know it's coming.
Well, they have a good one too.
Good to know.
And
because I used to use scissors to trim my pubes. So I do need a Manscaped thing. I'm very
code Room for Rent.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use code Room for Rent.
And if you want to buy the package, it comes with all this stuff. So you get a lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, weed whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver ball deodorant, which smells so good. Crop reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, which are black, so very cool. And a travel bag. So everything in here is stuff that men either are already using or should be using and have probably thought hey, I've got to go get this. So
I don't know if we've thought that, but we've usually had a girlfriend that's you probably need this.
Yeah.
And we're yeah, I guess we do.
Well, and you want to have it if you're single and you're dating, you want to have it before you find somebody. And
be presentable.
Have somebody, maybe spice up your life a little bit with the Manscaped.
Manscaped.
Max.
Yo.
I think we're at an hour. Are we coming up at an hour? Yeah. Well, I think we're probably over. But thank you so much.
Yeah, this was fun.
I think thank you for. I
had fun. I don't mind. I know this is a comedy podcast, but I don't mind. That's the one thing I always like about you, Maria, is I don't think we have, because we don't. I know we don't have the same opinions on things, but I don't. You're always somebody I feel comfortable getting into the highs and lows with. We can joke together. We can get serious. We can get honestly on our little pedestals about stuff. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't I know at the end of the day, I'm not going to worry about a fucking, you're my friend. So and I also,
it never comes across as malicious.
No,
people
exactly.
Will be well, no, you do this. Yeah. And it doesn't never.
It's just, we're two very hot opinionated people who have our hot opinionated opinions. And sometimes that don't clash, but it's all in good fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Like I've said, when we first met, I was unsure about you because there was a lot up top, but the more I get to know you, the more I like you. And honestly,
I'm a slow burn.
And I am too. That's the best compliment. I'm a slow burn in a different way. People think that I'm a dud, and then they get to know me oh, you just watch people, and then yeah. But also, so that I keep forgetting to do this on the pod, and then we'll have you plug your stuff.
Sounds good.
If you have questions that you want answered on Room for Rent, maybe about a roommate, current roommate situation, future, if you're looking for a place and want advice on what kind of room you should rent, if you're going to college and you're worried about roommates, anything. Could be anything. Could be
watch out
for
Christians.
Yeah, watch out for Christians. Also, watch out for Jewish people.
Yeah, we are pretty
in a
shifty.
smart, in a normal way. Not in a Kanye way. But write us in roomforrentpod@gmail.com. Or you can DM us on Instagram. If you have questions, we will answer them on the pod. I can't remember what else I was going to say. But yeah, just do that. Have some fun. I know there's some people out there who are some pretty loyal listeners because people have DM'd me, which is great. We really appreciate it. Yeah, it's really fun. This is a fun podcast. Today, a little heavy. So let us bring you some light next week with some questions.
A little heavy's fun.
Maybe we'll have Max back on if you like it.
Yeah, if you like the heavy, or we'll get back into fun. But I
love how you say it's you're now the co-host of the pod.
I am now. I'm taking it over.
If I get tired of talking, I will get a co-host. Don't try me. So, Max, where can people find you? Tell them in the camera.
With this one right here?
This one right here.
This one? What's up, Lou Max? How you doing? You can find me just on my Instagram or something at Max Halpert, TikTok or whatever.
Can you spell it?
Just Max, M-A-X, Alpawitz, but without the Alpa and out the wits. So Halpert, like Jim Halpert from The Office. Max, MAXHALPERT, at Max Halpert on Instagram, on TikTok, my website, which hasn't been updated in years, but it's always Max Halpert. MaxHalpert@gmail.com if you want to email me. I don't give a shit. I don't have any like big, I don't know when this is coming out, so I don't have any shows I want to plug or anything, but just follow me or something. I post clips, they're funny.
You're doing shows all over Los Angeles.
Yeah, I do shows all over Los Angeles.
You
Look
post
out
stand-up
for it.
clips on Instagram.
Well, you're going to find it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll post on it on Instagram. You'll see the clips on Instagram. You'll find me.
Max has a great joke about hustle culture.
I do.
Which I love. It's my
thank you. That I appreciate that. Yeah. I did that in a room full of very West Side whites, and they laughed at it. And that's my bar. If I can make them laugh,
that's your demo.
Well, yes, but also they're the kind of people who would butt clench about it the most. So if I can make them laugh groan, then
it's too relatable for them to get upset.
I don't know. And with Kobe and
don't give it away.
You'll have to come to one of my shows.
On that note, you can find Room for Rent on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook at Room for Rent Pod, and you can find me, and then you can find the podcast itself on my YouTube, which is Maria Bruggere, as well as Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. You cannot email me, my personal email. You can email Room for Rent Pod.
You can email my personal email.
No. And did I say Facebook? Anything. Everything is at Maria Bruggere, MARIABRUGGERE. I feel like I'm like at the doctor spelling it for somebody, but please check us out. Like, follow, subscribe, share. If you share it with one person, it could change everything for me. Probably not, but
be like COVID. Share it with everybody.
Yeah, share it with everybody. Be contagious.
Or herpes, whatever. Everybody's got herpes.
Be contagious and crash a tech conference in Vegas. Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Room for Rent. Peace out.